Let's talk, though, about some of the specific reforms that President Obama proposed in his news conference. Let's put them up on the screen. Have a privacy advocate argue against the government on the other side in the surveillance court. Tighten the mass collection of phone records. Be more transparent when you can about surveillance. Do you think those are good ideas, or do you think there's a possibility they could impede our ability to stop a terrorist who's means to do us harm?
Well, there's a careful balance here between preserving our assets and capabilities and making sure the American people are aware, are convinced that their privacy is not being violated. And it is a careful balance. Right now, as I mentioned, there's a kind of a generational change here. Young Americans do not trust this government. Without trust in government, then you can't do a lot of things. So I don't disagree with any of those proposals of the president's, but I also would ask how in the world do we have all these thousands of contractors and people like Snowden who may have access to information that there is no reason for them to have. We used to have a thing called need to know. Clearly, Mr. Snowden did not have the need to know the information that he is now revealing. It's also very revealing about the state of our relations with Russia and Mr. Putin.
I'm going to get to Russia in a minute, but let me ask you about some breaking news, and that is the fact that today the State Department has reopened 18 of the 19 missions and consulates, diplomatic posts across the Middle East, North Africa, near Asia. Did the administration do the right thing in closing those embassies to respond to the terror threat, or as some of our foreign partners say, did it in effect seem to be an act of retreat on the part of this country against its threats in the Middle East?
I'm not sure it was a matter of retreat, but it authenticates the incredible threat that Al-Qaeda poses to the United States of America and our personnel in embassies and consulates throughout North America. You can't say on the one hand you have destroyed, quote, core Al-Qaeda. By the way, that is somatic gymnastics, which is remarkable. You can't say that and at the same time have to close embassies and consulates all over the Middle East. Look, Al-Qaeda's on the rise. They have been on the rise. They have continued to penetrate. They now almost have a free zone in the Iraq-Syria areas, a border. Iraq is now, Al-Qaeda is strengthening every day in every way because of a lack of American leadership and policy. The only American policy that I can think of that President Obama is practicing is that, one, he's not Bush, and second, that the United States is withdrawing. We are withdrawing. And when you do that, and when you say that, then things get a lot worse than they are, and they continue to get worse. And without that policy, without a strong policy, we are in trouble. Just let me mention the best example. The President of the United States said that if this Bashar Assad used chemical weapons, it would cross a red line and would be a game changer. We now know for sure that Bashar Assad has used chemical weapons. What has the United States done? They've decided maybe, in certain ways, to provide light weapons to the resistance, which is obviously not doing anything that benefit, and Bashar Assad is succeeding.